The movie begins with a young lady, Mary, placing her son Peter in front of the London orphanage. Before leaving him there, she removes her necklace and puts it on his neck. She tells him she loves him and she leaves him with a letter. She runs away and the boy grows up at the orphanage run by the nuns. 12 years later, in London during World War II, the young boy Peter grows up with other kids, including his best friend Nibs. As they are all woken up for their breakfast, he dresses and joins the other kids. He requests his usual bacon, but the attendants explain that due to wartime constraints, they must ration and finances are limited. He confides in his friend that he's certain Mother Barnabas, the orphanage head, is stockpiling food, but Nibs warns him not to let her overhear such talk. While eating, they notice that 2 of the boys are missing, and they assume that they've been adopted and sent to Canada till the end of the war. Later that day, Barnabas tells them to climb the wall and clean the roof. They wonder if it's safe, but she claims there is a policy for an orphan falling to death, so they should do as she says. While leaving, she unveils a snack and begins eating, confirming the kids' suspicions about hidden food. Peter proposes an office break-in later that day. During an air raid attack, as children seek safety, Peter and Nibs reach Barnabas' office. The office appears messy except for the pristine figure of Mother Mary. Peter pushes it, revealing a hidden hole. They enter and see all the foodstuff and provisions that Barnabas had been keeping, but they search the store. Nibs sees Peter's file and brings it to Peter. They find the letter his mother left for him, where she says she would see him again, in one way or another. Barnabas manages to catch them. She punishes them before they return to their lodge. At night, they notice more kids are missing, and Peter thinks that Barnabas is selling the kids. Nibs maintains unconvinced, yet they choose to keep watch that very night. They hide to see what is happening, while Barnabas asks one of her nuns to put the pirate flag on the orphanage home. The boys don't see anything weird, so they return to bed, but the pirates arrive and start dragging the other boys away. Peter and Nibs wake up and try to escape, but Nibs gets caught. When Peter tries to escape, Barnabas pushes him back inside, and he gets caught too. While on the ship, Nibs proposes a jump, but it's too far for Peter, who declines. Nibs leaps off successfully, leaving Peter with the pirates. The government soon discovers the pirate ship and deploys aerial armies. The ship engages in multiple aerial battles and ultimately reaches space with no gravity, and everyone is about to float. The ship then enters into another dimension where they finally reach a magical place called Neverland. The crowd welcomes them with the song, and they meet the head of Neverland, Blackbeard. He tells them they are all there to work, and they will be rewarded if they work well. Otherwise, they will be punished. He joins the other miners and speaks to a man to ask what they are mining. The man informs him they are mining Pixum, a crystallized fairy dust that was left behind after Blackbeard drove all the fairies into extinction. While he works, he meets another man, Hook. Peter tries to ask more questions, but Hook isn't interested in answering him. He begins mining and discovers a Pixum, but just as he's about to retrieve it, a pirate snatches it away. Peter calls the man a thief and insults some of the pirates, so he's taken for punishment. In Blackbeard's office, he complains that he has run short of Pixums and that the natives are also fighting him. He goes to punish the offender of the day, and when he is told of Peter's offense, the people ask him to throw Peter off the cliff. He pushes Peter, and to everyone's surprise, Peter is able to float before descending to the ground. Peter eventually wakes at Blackbeard's office. Blackbeard asks if he has ever flown before and tells him of a prophecy that a child born out of love between a fairy and a human lady would return to kill him, and he would have the ability to fly. However, Peter doesn't believe that he is such a person. Peter is then imprisoned, and he recalls his mother's letter that they would meet in that life or another life. He assumes his mother is there. He coincidentally meets Hook again, and Hook asks that they escape together. He agrees but requests that Hook also help him find his mother. With the help of another man, Smee, they fight their way to escape into the forest. They find a pirate ship to fly with, but when Hook tells Peter he has to fly and save them, Peter insists he isn't leaving Neverland unless he sees his mother. Blackbeard notices they are escaping. He insists the boy must not meet the tribal people, so he asks his warriors to find them. This leads to several ships fighting on the escape way, and eventually, their pirate ship breaks into Neverwood. In the forest, the ship eventually breaks down, and Hook blames Peter for putting them in that situation. Peter checks the ship, where he finds a map and finds the location of the tribal people. He decides to go there, and Hook tells him to go alone. Smee reminds Hook that if Peter is the miracle the tribal people have been waiting for, they will reward them for bringing Peter, so he suggests they go with Peter. They are chased by Neverbirds, and they eventually meet the native chief's daughter, Tiger Lily, who arrests them. She wants to test Hook by challenging the greatest warrior in the tribe, named Pan. Unfortunately, Hook struggles with the fight. Peter tries to defend Hook, and the great chief panther notices Peter's necklace. He tells them Peter is Pan, and takes Peter to the great tree, where they narrate to him that when Blackbeard began to fight natives and fairies, they came together to fight Blackbeard. The prince of the fairies sneaked into the pirate's home where he met Mary, Blackbeard's wife, and they became friends. When Blackbeard found out, he fought back, and the prince changed into a human to save Mary. He can only survive for a day in a human body, so he eventually dies. The product of that union is Peter, and they created that pendant to recognize him and help him escape with the child. She returns and fought with them. They inform him that his mother is alive, residing with the fairies in a hidden realm. To reach her, he must demonstrate his true identity as Mary's son by flying on the upcoming third moon, just 3 days away. Peter tries to convince Tiger Lily that he isn't lying, but the only way to do that is to be able to fly. That night, Peter attempts to fly but fails, while Hook tries to boost his confidence, but Peter remains doubtful. On the other hand, Blackbeard finds Smee. He threatens to kill him, and Smee tells him where Peter is. In exchange for his life, Smee tells him the fairies aren't dead, and they are in a secret place. Hook also meets Tiger Lily to convince her that Peter is Mary's son. She tells him they have a map of the secret kingdom, and if Peter can prove himself, they will take him there. Hook then tries to flirt with Tiger Lily but gets slapped. Moments later, the pirate invades the tribe and starts attacking. The chief, Tiger Lily's father, eventually gets killed when he refuses to answer Blackbeard's question. While trying to save Tiger Lily, Hook tells Blackbeard that the secret kingdom has a map. Peter distracts them by flying with a bird, but he falls into a place with Blackbeard. When Blackbeard tells him that his mother is actually dead and was killed by him. Just when Blackbeard is about to kill Peter, Hook appears and takes Peter away. The three of them are the only ones who escape from Pirate's attack. Tiger Lily confesses that Peter's mother is indeed killed by Blackbeard, which upsets him. They eventually travel to hide at a place called Mermaid Lagoon. That night, while on the water, a crocodile suddenly attacks, which takes Peter, but the mermaids save him. The mermaids take him back to the ship, and he sits on the mountain with Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily decides to show him how his mother died and tells him Mary trained her, and she would be proud of him. Smee finds the map of the tribal territory, and Blackbeard goes to the secret kingdom. Hook finds a ship and decides to go home, so he leaves them. Peter refuses to go because he wants to prove he is his mother's son. He follows Tiger Lily to the kingdom and finds that only the prince with the key can enter. Blackbeard appears and says the key is the pendant on Peter and snatches it from him. He unlocks the land of the fairies and their powers. Tiger Lily and Peter are then captured. As they approach the fairy hive, one of the fairies, Tinkerbell, appears and tells them to hide from Blackbeard, but he says that the fairies should run away. Blackbeard then starts destroying the fairies by burning them, and Peter screams for him to stop. Blackbeard then diverts his attention to kill Peter, and as he is about to kill him, Hook returns with his ship and stops him. Peter then jumps into Hook's ship while Tiger Lily fights against Blackbeard and stops him from getting to the hive. As the ship tips and Hook almost falls off, this makes Peter overcome his fear of flying, and he flies to save Hook. He rallies with the fairies and they support him and attack the pirates. He goes to help Tiger Lily and he sends the fairies to Blackbeard. The ship eventually falls, taking Blackbeard along. Moments later, Peter sees a vision of his mother, who tells him she is proud of him and will always be a part of him, and she slowly disappears. Peter returns to the orphanage to save the orphans from Barnabas and offers them to join his adventure in the Neverland. He takes them to the ship where Tiger Lily and Hook are seen looking romantic. Peter and Hook are now seen as great friends, and the crew fly their pirate ship towards a new adventure. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a like to help the channel out. Also leave a comment if you'd like us to recap your favorite movie. Thanks for watching.